Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Crucible League 3.21. In this episode, I'm going to be going over my build, day 2 to 3 build updates. So there are some pretty nice ones. I'll start it off with this. I got this upgrade for 21 zombie. So originally I had my 20 zombie and I corrupted it and I failed the corruption. So I just bought the 21 zombie. It was like 7C. It was really worth it. This is an extra level, really big. And then I also got a +1 amulet to replace my Carnage Heart because the Carnage Heart was just attributes. +1 Ami was 20C, and then I actually still got attributes out of it, so it was really good. And then I was able to craft life, open prefix. And I got finally I got an uncorrupted body armor. So I went for an item level 83, and so for this, I'll show you what I actually do for trade. So a tip for trading, so maybe some people don't do this. So for the chest plate, I would have done a 6 link, and I do armor, and then you can actually say no to evasion and ES, and then you can actually put like an item level, for example, and you can have 6 link, and you can do uncorrupted, unmirrored, and when you search, you get some nice results, and then you can look at the strength requirement. And then Majestic Plate's pretty good, 13C for a 6 link, and then you could recolor it to get the 2 blue, 4 red pretty easily with just using like the 1 blue socket for chrome vendor crafting bench recipe, yeah. And then to actually craft the chest plate, you can see that I have T2 cold res, 42 to 45, so I just used Shrieking Essences of Hatred. These were 1C per. Easy clap. And then I was just rolling for decent mods like chaos res, phys damage reduction. Could go for like fire res, lightning res, armor, whatever. Just any attributes, anything that would be useful for the build. And then I made sure to not get life so that I could take the extra new life mastery. 15% increase max life if there are no life modifiers on the body armor. So I crafted armor. It has 1200 armor and the 15 max life. Pretty sick for 1 point. Really big. I also did something similar where I got Stygian Vices, so I have these, and I had an old one, but I replaced it, and so what I did is I basically grabbed, I have a stash here, trust me. There it is. I made 9 Stygian Vices, so I was crafting with a Shrieking Essence of Wrath. So you can see I get the 42 to 45 lightning, and then I had this one, so I hit T1 life with some extra stuff. This one I hit fire res, T2 open prefix, life armor, LE damage, and then the reduced flash charges T1. And then we had life, mana, lightning, and fire. Mana, lightning, strength T2, life, lightning, cold, and then strength, life, lightning. So I had a bunch of bases, and I was just using these 1C Shrieking Essences of Wrath. You could do Wrath or Hatred or Anger, it doesn't really matter. And then I was just rolling belts for decent mods and keeping them, and then I can try to sell them if, like those other ones I don't need. I just use the best one that actually fits in my build. You could also just buy belts, but I found that the Stygian Vices are kind of expensive crafted up because there's not that many actually dropping, so there's not that many that you're actually going to be able to find, where like when you specifically craft with like essence, it's pretty good. You could even be using essence of envy to get chaos res on the belt instead of the lightning res. It's just more expensive that way, and I needed the lightning res currently, and I didn't need the strength from the belt anymore because of all the strength I got from the amulet. Yeah. My old belt had like 50 strength to replace the heavy belt that I had during the leveling. And then I also hit regen on it, and I crafted fire and chaos. It was sick. And then, so that's how I crafted the Stygian. And I actually crafted 8, and I could make some money out of it if I sell these. Obviously, they're probably not going to sell for the 1 div dump tab, but later they might sell for a lower price. And then I also made a new Taunt Abyss Jewel, or I got it. I got it. I bought it. So, yeah, it was this one, sorry. I needed some extra lightning res, so I got one with life, lightning res, taunt, and then I got the extra minion fizz damage too, and it was pretty cheap. Pretty nice upgrade. Alright, I bought this cluster For 5 divs. Look. Okay, so 5 divs for this. Alright. They're pretty expensive on trade actually. But let's 5 divs for this. We slam it. Don't hit a notable. Boom. Armor. T2. There we go. That's pretty good. We did not hit it. There we go. Alright, now we're gonna fit a cluster jewel into the build. And then I needed dex. So I got some dex, life, minion LE res jewels. Minion damage instead of life, and then slam it. Boom. Block attack was no with a staff. Shield attack speed. Yeah, that's what I needed. Huge. I then decided to get a quickening covenant and a fortress covenant to fit into my cluster, because the cluster, if you didn't know, these jewels have downsides that say notable passive skills in radius are transformed to instead grant reduced move speed for minions or take increased damage. And so it's pretty interesting because when you put these into a cluster jewel, it says jewel radius will not function in a socket added by a cluster jewel. So it doesn't have the downside and you just have a pure upside. So this is just a jewel with 45 minion damage and the block. And then this is just a jewel with attack speed and the spell suppression. This is really good. We have actual new ways to get spell suppression and block through the wands, through the new trees. This will be really cool. We'll see what we can get our spell suppression to. And then I also noticed something else on my cluster. On the thing, it has like a weird icon, and it shows like a notable, but I don't have any notables on this one. And then when I select it, it shows like I have a mini node, but then it shows of a big like notable. I don't know, it's kind of broken, kind of bugged. It looks really weird. But then yeah, these jewels work really well into clusters, and it only really works when you have a cluster, because next to all of my jewel sockets I'm using notables that would be converted into these minion like bad things, and I don't want them, so we put them in a cluster jewel. No downside. For context, I paid 2.5 divs for the quickening covenant, and I paid 4 divs for the fortress covenant. Quite expensive actually, but it's just because the jewel changed. Jewels are pretty expensive. Jewels are hard to get, and honestly, the fact these jewels are really good with cluster jewel combination. If you couldn't do this and it had the downside, I don't think they'd be this good. So then one more thing. I changed the pathing of the tree, as you can see, so I don't path through here. I don't take this. I don't take Enduring Bond. I'm not taking this dex. I'm not pathing up here through this dex or this jewel socket. So I have all these points saved. And what I did instead was I changed the pathing a little bit up here as well. So instead of coming over here, I come through here. And then the other thing is we got an extra jewel socket here. And I had to make up the dex because I lost the 30 dex, the 10 dex. So I ended up getting 16 dex jewel, 16 dex, and this one, 8 all attributes, and this one has some dex. So I just made sure my jewels have extra dex. I could have also got it on gear, but then I'd have to have an evasion piece of gear basically, and I don't have one yet, so can't really roll dex anyways. So I did it through jewels, and then so my tree solves it, and we're at 124 dex. It's enough, and then yeah, we have all these points into a big large cluster. So each of these is 13 damage and 4 attack speed per point with the extra armor and mana regen. I would have liked something else instead of mana regen, but I paid so cheap, like 5 divs. There were other ones, just the 2 modifiers, blue, for 10 divs. So paying half the price just because it has mana regen rate was fine with me. It's pretty good actually. Oh, and then because I don't have an anoint, I'm probably going to anoint Fearsome Force again, because it's actually not bad for a single point. 20 crit multi, crit strike chance. It's like a better Vicious Bite, and it's a really cheap anoint, and you can't anoint Vicious Bite. Yeah. Oh, so then also my minion damage modifier is up to 642, and like the attack speed of my minions is insane. And then I kind of wanted to show a map updated with like these changes, like how it's going at T16, to show off our build. All right, let's kill the map boss. We got a lightning golem. Let's test my damage. Get our offering. Boom, big damage. That's a 5 link. Pretty nice. We have Feeding Frenzy supported. Oh, let's also do a Crucible. And let's charge it up quite a bit and see how it goes. Show off our build. T16. pretty juiced. Looks really nice. Ow. Kadava's Herald. Nice rare. He's dead. Big loot explosion. Another one. Well, yeah, thanks for watching my day 2 to 3 build update. We made some big upgrades. You can see the damage is pumping. We're pushing 93 to 94. We've been doing a lot of T16 blights with the tower strat. You know, the Ravage blight tower strat. We've been doing a lot of blights, been printing a lot of Ravage blights. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this build update where we fit the cluster and jewels and made all these changes. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you've ever used a jewel, then like the video. And if you guys like the video and you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified of the next one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!